Good morning, good morning. Dr. Gary here. We are dental practice brokers nationwide. And we've been doing this for 12 years. So today's topic is going to be, how long does it take the dental practice seller to realize and wake up that his price is too high? We'll get into that. We have two current things going on right now that can give you some updated information on it. So we've been doing the dental practice brokering. We are dental practice brokers nationwide for 12 years now. We have 10 employees, including 2 CPA accountants, marketing director, operations director, and 5 acquisition development people. We are presently answering the phones and working every day except Christmas and Easter. You can call us 363 days a year. We have hours of 9, well, it starts at 7:30 a.m. East Coast time to 9:30 p.m. So just call us. We'll talk to you, give you advice, no charge. If you want an appraisal, we'll take care of that. And you'll get a free, quick appraisal if you want. To give an idea what your practice is worth, give us a call. We can tell you what the market is like, who the best to sell to, whether it's private or the DSO, and just what's happening in the marketplace. I feel we have our finger on the pulse, because we're dealing with these deals every day, negotiating contracts and going to closing all the time. So all the information you're about to hear is for informational purposes, entertainment purposes. It is not business or legal advice. Our number is 201-663-0935. And our website is dentalpracticeguide.com or Nationwide Dental Practice Brokers. So call us. We'll be more than happy to help you at any time. So today's topic, how long does it take for the average seller to wake up that, hey, your price is too high? That's it. The market doesn't reflect what your requested selling price is. That's it. So how long does it take? Well, we have 2 deals going on right now. And again, we try to give you current information of what's breaking right now. Not what happened 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 2 years ago. It's right now. We have one doctor, 6 months. Taking this doctor 6 months to wake up. I believe there was 2 or 3, I don't recall, 2 or 3 previous offers that were made. That were good numbers. But there were 2 or 3 of them, and that was several months ago, maybe 5 months ago. Doctor insisted his practice is still worth a lot more money. Now finally, we're about 5.5 months later after the initial. Remember, we had a deal on this. We had an offer on this immediately. Why? Because everybody looking in your area, in your relative price range, let's say, with the number of operatories in your gross, they've been out there looking. So when we put it on the market, and we do massive marketing. We're all over the place. We're now doing like 100, I don't know where we are, 183 YouTube videos. We have various internet advertisement platforms are on. It's just all over the place. Plus, we have 500, I think it's over 588 buyers previous and present over the last 12 years. And, we track everybody. This goes on our massive mailing list, email list. So they get alerted as soon as we have something that hits the market. And I often will sell to my buyers of record. It's so much easier to us anyway. So, getting back to it, so 5.5 months, it took this doctor that much time to wake up. Just simply wake up. And remember, every deal is going to be different. Every circumstance is different. Every buyer is different. The requirements of the buyer are different. It never ends. It just goes on and on and on. So this seller took 5.5 months and 2 previous letters of intent before they woke up and realized, okay, that's it. The practice is worth what the buyer is willing to pay, what the bank will finance, and what the seller will let it go for. That's about your approximate. That's your answer. That's what it is. All right, let's move on to the next one. And this is active, current, right now. It's not old information. All right, the next one. We're in it about a year now, maybe a little over a year. And we had, I think, 2 other offers several months ago. As always, the first offer came within the first few weeks, first month or so of listing the practice. And we had an offer pretty much within the first month, and this is, again, one of my previous buyers. So the offer was put in, and it was a great offer. I mean, a great offer. It was close to asking price. But the contractual issues came up, and we couldn't settle. So yeah, they got their price at that time, but via contract negotiations, we couldn't settle it. So I guess they're under the assumption, that we'll just find somebody else at the same price. Well, that didn't happen. The next buyer came in a few months later, and the offer was less than the first offer. But the contractual agreements were working out better. But the seller said the price is too low. So we lost that buyer. Now, if I were that buyer, I'd pay a little bit more money. Get the seller to hold a second mortgage if the bank wasn't going to pay for everything. A small second mortgage, if his attorney, agrees. In everything we do, we always, ultimately, the decision is made with the bank, the buyer, and the buyer's attorney. We always want everybody. That's why I promote the dental attorney. It's critical to get that. You've got to get that together. So this buyer was a little too low. So seller was influenced by the previous buyer with a much higher offer, but contractually couldn't get it together. So now we lost that buyer. Presently, we're a year later, and the price is low. Lower than originally asked for, lower than the first buyer came in with. And it is now, a year later, 2 previous pretty solid buyers, 2 letters of intent. Finally, the seller is negotiating more. It's taken us a year. Finally, the seller is becoming a little bit more realistic. But it's 1 year and 2 buyers. So I don't know what's going to happen now. I believe the seller's starting to come around with counteroffers. The seller's giving me a counteroffer. I had to wait a week and a half, somewhere around there, about a week. Shouldn't have to wait that long, but you got to deal with it. The buyer is reviewing the counteroffer. Counteroffer is probably 5%, 6% higher than the buyer wants to pay. What is the margin? How much flexibility does the buyer or the seller have? Usually maybe 5%. Maybe it depends on the circumstance. When the buyer goes up, the seller comes down, maybe a 5% possibility. I don't know. So right now, we are waiting. I don't know what's going to happen. But this is a 1 year time period. At least our seller is beginning to come around. And that's your time periods. Sometimes that's how long you have to wait. You as the buyer, you can't give up. Keep hanging in there. Keep monitoring the deal. Keep watching the deal. Come back to the deal. Maybe you have to wait 6 months, a year later, but keep tabs on that deal. Don't be discouraged if your deal falls apart, because just wait. Sometimes the seller may come around. Because if you liked the deal a year ago, why don't you like the deal now? Or 6 months ago? Well, what's really changed? You know, it's a dental practice. It's been there 25, 30 years. So that's where we are. Just some tips. Again, these are current active deals right now. And we want to bring you stuff that's breaking. And as we've said in the past, we just don't have time to sit in the studio with a suit and fancy lights and plans. This is what's happening right now. It's Sunday morning, and we're negotiating, and I'm talking to the seller and buyer this weekend. We're doing emails from the beach or whatever we have to do. Or I was at a beach party last night. It took like 3 minutes. Went on the side and did a couple emails. Keep everybody posted. We don't mind doing that. We're there for you. We enjoy what we do. We're on it. That's what makes us different. We're on this stuff 24/7. And we get a lot of satisfaction out of putting deals together. We do. And it's very exciting for us. Because the buyer's happy, and they're going to build a lifelong dream. The seller's happy, because now they finally are able to retire. And you know, another point about sellers, and I've mentioned this before, sellers have to get in their head that they have made profit from this practice for the last 35 years. I mean, this stuff is behind you. It's behind you now. So don't get too stuck on your selling price. Just accept the fact that you've made a significant amount of profit over the many, many years. All right, check it out. This is Dr. Gary. We are signing off, and hope to see you on the next video. Bye.